What is it like to sail into a blockade? Would you? That's the goal of the Global Sumud Flotilla, the largest ever in the movement to break the siege on Gaza. Until now, it's a story that's mostly been told in fragments, one vertical video at a time. This is the Flotillas, Part 2. In Episode 1, we told you the history of the movement. In this episode, we're taking you aboard.
Our government have failed us. It is up to us, the people, to stand up and say not in our name. We will not allow genocide. We will not allow.
In the Spanish port city of Barcelona, the countdown to departure has begun. This is the launch point for the flotilla known as the Global Sumud, an Arabic word for steadfastness.
Right now we are doing the final preparations before we will departing again towards Gaza to deliver humanitarian aid and to attempt to break Israel's illegal siege on Gaza and open up a humanitarian corridor. We will do it with dozens of boats, with people from all over the world. We will start in Barcelona and then we will be joined by many boats in other ports around the Mediterranean Sea.
Among the activists are Yasemin Ajar of Germany, Tiago Avila of Brazil, and Greta Thunberg of Sweden. They've sailed to Gaza before, but this mission is the largest by far.
The Global Sumud Flotilla is a coalition of coalitions. Brings people as well from 80 different countries that were trying to go on the global march to Gaza, and brings people from the Freedom Flotilla coalition as well.
We need to do this all together. We understand that it's time for unity, it's time to combine all efforts for a decisive action in solidarity with the Palestinian people.
It started. We are on our way.
Water, medicine, baby formula.
The question should be, why would they stop a purely humanitarian mission? We carry no weapons, we are no threat, we are carrying humanitarian aid to a starving population. What we should also ask is, why are the governments around the world are not acting? Why are they not sanctioning Israel and lifting the siege so that the humanitarian aid can enter Gaza?
From tens of thousands who wanted to go, about 500 remain, whittled down by logistics, capacity, and risk. They'll board some 40 boats, all aimed towards Gaza. For some organizers, this isn't new. A few months before the Sumud Flotilla, Greta and Tiago traveled on a boat called the Medellin. It was intercepted by the Israeli Navy. Now, they're passing on not just conviction to try again, but experience.
We have dozens of boats on the way to Gaza now. Beautiful ship. This is the wind on our sails, we told.
Free, free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free, free!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
It's September 1st, 2025, Departure Day. The next stop is Tunisia, just over 1,200 nautical miles from Gaza, where Israel has begun intensifying its takeover. 10 days earlier, the UN officially declared a famine in Gaza.
Be in no doubt that this is irrefutable testimony. It is a famine, the Gaza famine. It is a famine that we could have prevented if we had been allowed.
With aid waiting in Egypt, just on the other side of the blockade, children and adults alike are dying from starvation. Starvation the Israeli government denies. All under the sun of a Gaza summer. It's there that Mahmoud al-Shabrawi makes his way to the sea. He wants to let the flotilla participants know that Palestinians in Gaza see their efforts an ocean away.
Hello from Gaza seaport. We are here, waiting for the ship Medellin. I am now on the shores of Gaza, waiting for the ship handler. Hello from Gaza seaport. Once again, I'm still here, waiting by the sea.
He's been talking with the participants too, on video calls with people on board the flotilla, when he can get a signal.
I can't hear you.
But in Gaza, the sea is never just a walk away. For Mahmoud, reaching the coast means a journey littered with rubble under the constant threat of bombardment. Only the waves are calm.
I am so proud, and all the people here are proud of you, and we are waiting for you. And you guys makes a difference for us and for the people here. You make something no one in the world has done.
Over the course of this war, Mahmoud has been displaced 5 times, rounded up, stripped, detained, and used as a human shield by the Israeli military. He's free from detention now, but he knows the journey ahead for the flotilla won't be easy. It's a reminder, though, of a world beyond Israel's siege.
Justice will come soon for us, for the lost children who have suffered this genocide. Justice will come soon, inshallah.
Was spending the first night at sea. Most of them were not used to that, so a few people got a bit concerned and scared because the boat rocked so much. So we take all the precautions, but sea missions, of course, they have its risks. Many people got seasick. Any risk that we face here is a small fraction of what every Palestinian citizen, every person living in Gaza faces every single day.
Thiago has calculated those risks for himself. Joining the flotilla has meant missing precious time with his wife and 2-year-old daughter in Brazil. Moments he can't get back.
You know, I've been through many missions. Some of them first as a participant, then as an organizer. Boats have been bombed. We've been stopped by engine failures. We've been intercepted, kidnapped, put in prison, put in solitary confinement. But whenever our mission gets to set sail again, we know that something big is about to happen.
He's on the lead ship of the Global Sumud Flotilla, the Familia Madeira, also known as the family boat. On this voyage, days start with a morning meeting.
So, anyone had any injuries other than Khaled last night? We are 0 days without injuries on our boat.
It's normal for me.
Okay. First of all, we wish you didn't have to endure all these things on your first night. But this is not the regular onboarding day on the sea. Scenarios of attack and interception, they could happen anywhere. We are right now 1,500. Not impossible at all for them to extend a little bit their reach and do an attack where we are. We risk an attack at any time, and we need to prepare for that. And morale, it's high with most of the boats. There are some boats with a lot of people seasick as well, but we keep on going.
Every day, the crew on board the family boat gets updates on what the Israeli government is saying about the flotilla and what the Israeli military is doing on the ground in Gaza.
Benjamin Netanyahu's statements about the flotilla are usually very inflated, politically defamatory, so I would say the same thing he always says. Insurgents and terrorists bringing weapons to attack Israel. 3 times that he didn't say that in 17 years was because of the communication on the Medellin in June. It was very obvious. It would call Greta with the frog hat a terrorist. It was hard for him to put that up. So he changed into a selfie boat and people who want to show off and stuff like that.
The selfie yacht is a term Israeli official social media has used in the past. Israel's foreign ministry singled out Greta in particular, writing on X, "There are ways to deliver aid to the Gaza Strip. They do not involve Instagram selfies."
So this time, because of the different social composition, because of the size of our mission, they are once again with the discourse that we are an immediate threat to Israel. All the other times that they were with this discourse, they didn't do light interceptions. So we really need to be very dedicated to our trainings.
The Israeli Minister of Security Itamar Ben-Gvir has labeled the flotilla as terrorists, a claim which has since been strongly refuted by those aboard the flotilla.
But what do those threats mean for the activists? That's the focus of safety training.
We are going to practice abandoned ship. Imagine the case that we had 4 months ago when they bombed our boat. If the Israeli quadcopter drone comes after our boat, we have only 3 seconds after they release an explosive device until it blows. So in those 3 seconds, we need to be ready to abandon ship. So it means a lot of responsibility, a lot of practice, and yeah, we're going to do our very, very best for our team to be ready for any scenario.
How many people here know how to swim? Or not like, oh my God, Olympic swimmers, but just comfortable enough to go in the water and swim around. Okay, so just about everyone's okay with swimming, okay? You're gonna go then down and you're gonna go to the side where the lifeboat is. You're gonna jump into the water as close, as safely as you can to the boat. You're not panicking, you're down there waiting, taking a breath, climbing up carefully, getting assistance, and you're stepping and jumping into the water, getting a hand into the boat, climbing into the boat.
I haven't come here to die. I don't think any of us have.
I expect that there will be a campaign of intimidation until we get close to Gaza.
Israel surprises us all the time with the red lines, so-called red lines that it's willing to cross. So I also think that it's possible, but I think it's improbable, but it's possible that we do experience some of our number does experience some form of violence.
Where are we, Mr. Fix?
Where are we? We're in Tunisia, Tunis harbor.
Finally.
It's September 7th in Sidi Bou Said. The flotilla is here to pick up more boats and restock supplies.
Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you. Most of Tunisian people are waiting for you here. They are very excited to meet you. They are here from the early morning and they were seeing crackle and waiting for you. Hurrah, hurrah, Palestine! Hurrah, hurrah, Palestine! Free Palestine!
Free Palestine! Hey, we are the best! We are the best!
¿Qué te parece? Wow! Me encanta.
It's going to be nice to get onto land for a day. We're being very warmly welcomed as expected. There's already been small boats of families waving Palestinian flag, taking pictures of our boat and saying Assalamu alaikum to us.
Greta! Slay! Slay!
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free
We have global media reporting about this mission. Where is global media when it comes to reporting about the hell they're going through in this genocide? This genocide is being enabled and fueled by our governments, our institutions, our companies, and your complicity. Everyone, end your complicity in this genocide. Be human.
Tunisia is the most amazing place. It's beautiful to be here. The people in Tunisia, they are so mobilized, so dedicated to the Palestinian people. When we see this energy, we know how powerful is the Palestinian cause. We know that they cannot defeat us. This is a global uprising.
Greta, you get your hat?
But the celebrations were cut short.
An international activist group seeking to deliver aid to Gaza on a flotilla says one of its boats was hit by what it believes was a drone while docked in Tunisia.
Saw a drone hovering about 3 or 4 meters above my head. It hovered for a few seconds, dropped a bomb. The bomb fell on a pile of life jackets that immediately were set on fire. We fought the fire for until it was out. It should hardly be surprising that this is happening, right?
What I see is extremely serious. It's also extremely chaotic. It's just a distraction, and it looks like an act of intimidation.
This is not the first time our mission is attacked. This is not the first time a humanitarian mission to Gaza is attacked. It's still too early to assess who is the owner of these drones, but it's not too early at all to understand who does this kind of things. Who has been attacking humanitarian missions for so long? Who has been assassinating children, starving children to death, assassinating health workers, assassinating UN workers, assassinating civil defense workers? Who has been committing all these crimes? So it's not very hard to understand who benefits from an attack on our mission.
Tunisian officials investigated the attack and called it premeditated aggression against the flotilla. The U.S. broadcaster CBS News reported that 2 anonymous American intelligence officials had told them Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu approved the strike and that Israeli forces had launched drones from a submarine onto the vessels. If the goal had been to keep the flotilla from continuing to sail, it failed. But the attack did damage some vessels, heightening tensions and causing a reshuffling of crews. Greta is reassigned, along with Yasemin, from the family boat to a different vessel, the Alma. David Adler, an American who'd been supporting the mission from land, decides to come on board.
Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. How's it going? Well, that's sort of why I'm calling. So everything's quite relaxed here. I'm on a boat and just getting everything ready with the crew of the boat. That's my roundabout way of telling you how excited I am to be part of this mission. I think we should expect more, but the spirits are high, and the mobilization is very moving here to see so many thousands of people pour out to show their supports and all the support that we've received.
I come from a Jewish family in Los Angeles, California, that comes from 2 very different traditions. From my mother's side, there was a tradition of Jewish American Zionism. From my father's side, there was a tradition of resistance, anti-fascist, anti-Zionist politics. So I grew up a bit in the tension between these 2 different traditions. When I looked into my heart, thinking as a Jewish American, that is, thinking as someone for whom these crimes have not only been committed in the name of my identity, but with my tax dollars, I asked myself, do you not have the moral clarity, the moral conviction, the moral courage to be part of this great mission? One of the horrors that we have witnessed over the past, not just 2 years, not just 20 years, but of course, 75 years or more since the Nakba of 1948, is the ways in which Zionists have deployed Jewish identity to defend our safety and security. We have a different Jewish tradition that we're trying to rescue and recover before it is too late.
When our friends and our family search for Global Sumud Flotilla, now the first hit that they see, there's a sponsored ad on top of Google. It's the report that tries to claim that we are the Hamas Flotilla.
News to me, anyway.
Yeah, news to me too, so.
This flotilla will be, as I suppose, more violent than Medellin or Handala.
Of course it will be. The question is whether it's more violent at sea or whether it's more violent at land.
But the news the crew is focused on is in Gaza. They hear in each morning meeting that the situation continues to escalate.
Okay, so the blackout in Gaza City is over, and we know that at least 40 people were killed yesterday, and since dawn this morning, at least 50 people have been killed. At the UN, the United States has for the 6th time vetoed a resolution for an immediate, unconditional and permanent ceasefire.
The day of the veto, the flotilla is about 972 nautical miles away from Gaza. Despite more delays, they've made it as far as Sicily. Still, dangers remain, and not only from drones and warships. Out here, the weather can be unforgiving.
2 days ago, we understood that there was a storm ahead of us. We would be facing 3-meter waves and 25-knot winds. Need to make this decision.
This decision will determine the final leg of the journey, just as more boats are supposed to join. There's no easy answer. Do they slow down to keep everyone safe or push forward?
I feel like another pause is not great if we're able to push. The most important thing is that what's happening in Gaza City right now, they're all waiting for us, and every time that we take these pauses, I think, for better or for worse, I think this flotilla is a sort of light at the end of the tunnel that they're looking at. It's reached the stage in Gaza City where a couple extra days of pause, like who knows how much less of Gaza and how many more people will be dead.
For Mahmoud, those questions are his daily life. He waits on the shores of central Gaza, not only for boats on the horizon, but for reassurance that the world hasn't turned away. And his worry isn't limited to what he's endured. He knows the fate the flotilla might face too.
تذكرت الدبابات لما بتهاجم أي منطقة في غزة إنه أي شخص ممكن يتعرض للموت. وضعت مصير هؤلاء الناشطين كمصير أبناء غزة، لأنه هذا الجيش لا يفرق. فكنت خايف كثير إنه ممكن حدا يتعرض للقتل إلهم، ممكن يقوموا بإغراق السفينة باللي فيها 20-30 ناشط على السفينة، مش مشكلة، عادي. زي ما كانوا بتعاملوا مع أهل غزة أرقام، ممكن يتعاملوا مع الناشطين هؤلاء أرقام. فالإشي كان متعب جدا فوق ما أنت تتخيل.
Back on the family boat, they've decided to push on. As Gaza draws closer, warnings from the Israeli government grow louder.
This is not a humanitarian initiative. It is a calculated strategy designed to generate international sympathy and, most importantly, provide cover for Hamas-affiliated network operating across Europe.
Flotilla organizers have rejected those allegations as unfounded, and Israel has yet to present evidence. For now, the activists are focused on what the claims signal about the end of their journey.
The most likely outcome, it is an interception. We already knew that. Well, that's why we focus most of our energy in preparing for an interception scenario. But that's not the only scenario. The scenario of attack or getting to Gaza is also bigger than previous missions. Every indication points for an interception right now.
At their current pace, the interception is days away. And in the remaining days, the crew comes together.
Come on! No, it's not a joke, come on! It was a quick swim.
¿Por qué no tenemos que ir?
Porque nos vienen los barcos.
Break the siege of deception.
Group photo.
Coming.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Nuestro destino es compartido, porque lo que pasa a uno pasa a todos. Y en eso estamos conectados por la poca luz que nos queda.
That they are above, that they can colonize the global south and all of Palestine. Break the siege of deception. It's a system of lies.
But every night, that light fades. And with night comes the danger.
We have been hit 2 times on the mast. We have the mainsail damage. I'm gonna check for the other damage. That's 2 times in 10 minutes. Very good.
The crews prepare to face a long night in darkness.
Okay, guys, don't approach in here. Please take cover. We are here on board the Global Sumud Flotilla, the family boat, the lead boat, and we are unfortunately having to report that we've been targeted 4 times this night. 4 of our boats, the Weyla, the Waila, Yulara, the Otaria, and the Maria Cristina have been targeted with drones, throwing devices.
There was another one, yeah.
We just experienced a 5th attack. We need to assess which boat was that. They're likely throwing flashbangs at our boats. It's very, very important that we stay on alert. Right now we are in a moment of full drone alert.
On the next and final episode of the Flotillas, the interception playbook